Okay. I guess I have to translate. Well, we have to go to the. The words of the 23rd Psalm, a Psalm of David. Adonai is my shepherd, I shall not want, giving me repose in green meadows, leading me beside the still waters to revive my spirit, guiding me on the right path, for that is God's essence. Though I walk through a valley of the shadow of death, I fear no harm, for you are with me. Your staff and your rod comfort me. You prepare a banquet for me in the presence of my foes. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and kindness shall be my portion all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Adonai forever. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much to all of you for coming out. Thank you all of you at home for tuning in this morning. My name is Rabah Z from Congregation Shaare Tzedek, and it's my great honor to be here officiating the funeral service for Donald Weidman Z of blessed memory. Donald was also known to the Jewish people by his Hebrew name, Yitzhak Dan ben Baruch Rivka, Zichrono Livracha. He was the son of Bert and Eve Weidman of blessed memory, husband of Audrey for some 69 years, the brother of David and Lion of blessed memory, the father of Kathy and Marty Cole and Richard and Lisa Weidman, the grandfather of Rachel, Bram, Joshua, Leah, and Jacob. Donald passed away peacefully in his sleep on Friday, February 3rd, after a long and fruitful life at the age of 93. You see, most congregants of the Shaare Tzedek interact with their clergy in the building, either after services or during an event. The interesting thing about Donald Weidman is that we used to chat at the parking lot of the Wellington Crescent building when he would take a breather during his daily run down the Crescent. You may have seen Donald running there without even realizing it was him. But he was impossible to miss. Huge headphones with a long antenna coming out of one of the earpieces. The fact is that Donald was very active, to the point that I was told that he was still water skiing way into his 80s. But what it was also impossible to miss was his perennial smile and his fun personality, wherever and whenever you saw him. I bet he was tired after all that running, but he was still smiling from year to year. You see, the great 19th century ethicist Rabbi Israel Salanter taught that the face of a person is considered public property and one should always smile at everyone. A sour face can damage the mood of others, and we are never allowed to inflict damage to others. How much happier would the world be if we all smiled at each other the way Donald Weidman did? This is exactly what the Talmud in the section Ethics of the Fathers has in mind, what it says, accept all people with a pleasant face. That was the way Donald Weidman lived his life, excelling at this important Jewish value. But the Weidman family in general, and Donald Weidman in particular, were instrumental in the development of Judaism in Winnipeg. Donald's paternal grandparents, Chaim and Fanny Weidman, arrived in Winnipeg in 1882, becoming one of the first Jewish families in Manitoba. Chaim Weidman, along with his brother Mordechai, established Weidman Brothers, distributing kosher food all along Western Canada, facilitating the observance of this important mitzvah to countless Jews. Chaim Weidman became very active in the Jewish community and was a founder of the Talmud Torah and the Shaare Tzedek synagogue. Donald continued the family tradition, serving on the board of the Shaare Tzedek synagogue. He also became a strong Zionist and proud supporter of the state of Israel. Caring about Israel is an important part of being a Jew. In a time where many people are fast to attack Israel, Donald, who experienced anti-Semitism multiple times, showed his support for Israel both vocally and financially. And there is an aspect of Donald Weidman's personality that we should all celebrate as perhaps one of his highest achievements, well above his business endeavors. And that is the fact that he never said negative things about anyone. No matter the situation, he would always find something positive to say about people. The rabbis teach that speech is the tool of creation. Through it, we can build individuals and the world. We can praise, encourage, and give others confidence. By making others feel important, we build them up, as if to say, your existence is necessary. This is life-giving and life-affirming. As the Mishnah says, judge every person favorably. And of course, family was a number one priority for Donald. Close family, cousins, extended family, doesn't matter. He was always there for them. That is why I would like to invite Donald's children, Kathy and Richard, to come to the microphone, representing the family, to eulogize their father.
On behalf of our family, we would like to thank you all for joining us in person and on Zoom. It's only appropriate that it's a sunny day today because our father only saw the bright and positive side of life. Every day was a sunny day and a warm day for him, even when it was 40 below. As the rabbi said, family was paramount to Dad. He became the patriarch of the Weidman family. He was always so proud to share the history of the Weidman family in Winnipeg beginning in the 1880s, including the fact that his family were founding members of the Sharazedic Synagogue. Nothing brought him more joy than time with his wife, children, and grandchildren. Donald was blessed with a wonderful wife in Audrey for 69 years. In the last few years, despite failing health, seeing Audrey brought him complete joy. Their visits consisted of few words, but lots of hand-holding. He would do anything for his 5 grandchildren and travel to the end of the earth for them, including a surprise visit to Israel for Rachel's bat mitzvah.
Donald always, as the rabbi said, he always saw the positive in people and life. He never had a bad word to say about anyone and always saw the best in whomever he encountered. An avid jogger, regardless of the temperature, we would often hear stories from people who saw him running down the Wellington Crescent in pitch black, wearing his headphones and the antenna. After the run, 40 below, he would tell my mother, "It wasn't too bad outside." In business, his customers loved and respected him. To this day, people still reminisce and bring up wonderful stories about him wherever I go. And, most recently, just a few months ago, I was in Edmonton. And I met for the very first time a customer of my dad's from years ago who didn't know who I was. I introduced myself to him. This man looked at me, hugged me, and just wouldn't let go of me, and went on to tell me that years and years ago he came to Winnipeg, got into some trouble. I imagine it was some sort of financial trouble, but I don't know, and just told me that my dad helped him out, his words, and that he would never ever forget what my dad did for him. And he just proceeded to hug me again. I didn't think I'd ever get out of this bear hug.
We'd like to express our sincere appreciation and gratitude for the loving and compassionate care and support Donald received from George over the last year and a half. George, you made such a connection with him, and we will be eternally grateful.
We feel so blessed to have had our dad and grandfather live to the age of 93. Mine and Lisa's children were especially blessed to have had all 4 grandparents until this very past Friday. We so appreciate all of your kind words and expressions of sympathy. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you so much. I'd like to invite Bram to come to the microphone to eulogize his grandfather on behalf of the grandchildren.
Thank you, everyone, and thanks, Mom and Uncle Richard, for those stories. As mentioned, I've been nominated to speak about Zeta on behalf of the grandkids here. Aside from his decades spent suntanning, infamous 3 pair of running shorts he wore until they literally fell apart, or the thousands of kilometers he's ran over his lifetime, there's one thing I'll always remember my Zeta for: his uncomparable love and devotion for his family, which was most prevalent in the overwhelming pride he carried for his 5 grandkids. While distance was always a tricky hurdle in our lives, Bubba and Zeta were always there, whether Calgary or Vancouver, for holidays, birthdays, sporting events, music recitals, gymnastic competitions, you name it, whatever we were into, they were there cheering us on with that big smile of his, making sure we knew how proud he was of everything we had done. Not to mention, I don't think they missed a single Hanukkah concert while any of us were in elementary, which spanned a few years there. His pride in the 5 of us was legendary, and truth be told, led to many uncomfortable encounters for his grandkids, with as anyone he would come across, whether it was family, friends, extended family, it was kind of all the same to him, or a random stranger he would rope into a conversation on the street, just so he could tell them, "This is my grandson or daughter, aren't they the greatest?" Social cues be damned, because Zeta's smile was never bigger than those times when he was showing us off to the world. And speaking for myself personally here, I admittedly was too busy at the time experiencing secondhand embarrassment to see the life lesson that Zeta was teaching me. Live your life, love who and what you love with everything you have, ignore the rest, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Zeta, we'll carry you with us forever and always. We love you. Thanks.
Thank you so much. May the memory of Donald Weidman, Zichrono Livracha, be a source of blessing and comfort to all who knew him. Amen. I'm going to continue now the memorial prayer, El Maleh Rachamim. El Maleh Rachamim, Shochem Bameroimim, Hametzei Menucha Nechona, Tachat Kanfei HaShechina, B'ma'alot Kedoshim, Kedoshim uTeorim, Kezoyer Rakim, Amazirim, Eden Ishemat, Eden Ishemat, Yitzchak Dan, Ben Baruch ורבקה, שהלך לעולמו. ועבור שאנו מתפללים, ועד הזכרת נשמתו, גן עדן, בגן עדן תימן הרחמים, אז תראהו וסתר כן אהביו לעולמים, וצרור בצרור החיים, החיים את נשמתו. אדוני הוא נחלתו, וינוח ושלום על משכבו, ונאמר Amen. Exalted, compassionate God, grant infinite rest in your sheltering presence among the holy and pure to the soul of Donald Weidman, who has gone to his eternal home. Merciful One, we ask that our loved one find perfect peace in your eternal embrace. May his soul be bound up in the bond of life. May he rest in peace. And let us all say, Amen. Please join me now in the recitation of the words of comfort, the words of the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal ve'yitkadash shemei Rabah, be'almad divedach iruteh, ve'yamblik malchuteh, v'chayechon u'vyomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Israel, v'agala u'izman kariv ve'imru, Amen. Yeheh shemei Rabah mevorach, le'alam u'le'olmei olmaya. Yitvarach וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירם בעלמה וימרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום ממרומיו, ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. המקום ינחם אתכם בתוך שלב לציון בירושלים. May God bless you and comfort you. Amen. In a minute, we are going to proceed to the burial, and for that part, in the Jewish tradition, this is always an open invitation to everyone to participate by grabbing a shovel to put a little bit of earth on top of Donald's coffin. But before we do that, I have a few announcements. Number one, immediately after burial, everybody is invited to partake of the meal of consolation at the Shaftesbury. It's going to be the second floor at the library. And also would like to announce on behalf of the family that Shiva will be private, and donations on Donald's memory could be done to the Jewish Foundation of Manitoba, to the Audrey and Donald Weidman Fund. And now I would like to invite the family first to be the one to come forward and put a little bit of earth on top of Donald's coffin. There is a white bucket with gravel on the other side if you feel that is otherwise the ground is too hard. You can also use that. And thank you everyone for coming. And again, everybody's invited to participate. Once you do this, once you put a little bit of earth on top of the coffin, please feel free to return to your transportation. Thank you for coming out. Thank you everyone at home for tuning in.
get it too. I saw it standing on it.
Lisa. I have
She's cracking jokes. She's okay. Yeah. It's honestly like.
My really tall ones, mucklucks, but they don't have any support, and my ankle will just. That's why I didn't go up there either. I'd fall in. So, see you later.
Obviously, we don't have to finish it.
Not finish it, but get them covered. All right.
sure. I'm gonna stay here and make sure that that's. Yeah, no, I'll put my dad and we'll just do it. Okay, so we're going to cover it. Down the stage, and we'll get it out of the top.
Yeah, I'm still for Larry first, and then.
Yeah.